My first and front line is definitely the work, the art, the actual through the work that we do. But there is unquestionably, the art sits within the bigger conversation, and that's definitely where these platforms are critical to the dialogue. So the work is about getting the conversation started. So the Facebook, to be honest, I'm not big on the Twitter, all the stuff, but certainly there is such a kind of a powerful thing that happens and particularly as a direct follow-on from the work, is the sharing of stories. So often a lot of the communication is around people sharing similar stories or shared stories or have some connection to those stories. I mean, the people who have come out of the woodwork to share their stories because of their connection or their cross paths with someone like Uncle Jack Charles. Similarly with the Foley Show, this kind of mountain of stories that came out through these platforms. So it's very much about the ripple effect that happens outside of the work.
It's interesting because all of you work in an environment which I guess we would call the information overload age. And each of you have, I think a value proposition. Waleed, I'm going to hand it back to you. How do you create this particular value proposition for your audience in such a crowded space? There's so much white noise. People have streams of information coming. How do you create that for yourself? And what is the value proposition that you're putting out there for an audience? Why would they follow you?
Yeah, well, I mean, they wouldn't follow me individually because I'm not there to be followed, but they would follow my program, for example, or various things I'm involved with. And you're right, there is this issue because there's such huge overcrowding. And I guess the thing that concerns me about this, but that I think ultimately is the secret, is the projection of a personality really becomes the thing that people latch onto. Now, I'm not a fan of that because I don't like that our public discourse puts that at the fore. This becomes something that is central to the way that we go about public discourse, but it seems to be that way. And I think this is also something that artists are going to have to think about and reconcile within themselves. Because if I'm following someone on Twitter, it may well be that all I really want is just to say that I follow them on Twitter, but it might also be that if I want to be rewarded by that, I want to see some element of personality that comes out. I want to see something that is beyond the work. Because the work I can kind of access. And Twitter might be something where occasionally they'll tell me about some new work I otherwise wouldn't have found out about, and I can follow it that way. But it's got to be more than just an information service. It's got to be more than just something that you're plugging. Because if all you're doing is plugging, then people very